All right, what's going on, everybody? So we're back to the Chat GPT adventures. Excuse me. Um, blank dot text. Um, we are we were here last time, and we're gonna explain excuse me, what this is right now. Um, so you guys are listening to like a pretty new channel. This is kind of like a new endeavor, right? To um, make some cool videos online. Um, so that's the whole reason with this uh, thing over here. Um, is this thing at the end mean it's going to clip? All right, so clipping means in the, for example, the red section on the right of the volume from about 9 to be in the keep clipping danger zone. Interesting. Okay, what about -10 to -5 though? Great question. The 10 to DB5 range is not clipping yet, but it's close to danger zone. All right, so just so you guys know, we're using what's it called? Um, uh, what's this thing called? Um, OBS, um, and five. There you go. And we just don't want it to clip. Clipping means when it goes like, or it sounds a little strange or whatever. All right. Excuse me. All right. So last time we discussed. So last time we discussed that that the um, that the whole thing with our goal was that our goal was to understand how to make this um, this project. Um, it's called Project 2 Sequence Project 1. Yeah, our goal is to understand this project over here, right? So excuse me. So our goal is to understand this project, and let's show you guys this project real quick. So So you guys are listening to a person over here right now that has already finished this. So like you guys are gonna be able to understand uh like how to do this. You know, you're listening to a person who has went through the first sequence over here, um, which uh which is this first sequence HTML. You're listening to a person right now who has literally gone through all of these projects. Like, you know, we've done all these projects over here before, and now our goal is to make this video and to show you guys like how you could possibly understand this thing, you know? And this is the code, right? So you guys are looking at code that you will with God's help be able to understand, with the help of this video. So so this is grid mastery. It's from JS mastery. Excuse me. So this is project one, and so sorry. Uh, uh, for big, yeah. This is the project that you guys, with God's help, will be understand because, like like we said, You guys are listening to a person right now who's literally done the sequence, like learned this this sequence, which we discussed, is um, which is the first sequence to literally understand how you make this boxing app. So, excuse me. So we discussed before that we created this idea and this concept called prompt engineering, right? So we created this thing called reverse prompt, creating a reverse prompt engineering or whatever, right? So we created this idea called reverse prompts where we press the engine, we prompt the engine to give us a way of understanding something, but by giving us projects, by giving us basic projects that by doing them as a default we will understand what we're trying to learn. So like for example, like you want to say, okay, what would be super basic projects to that you that if you do them by default you would understand 1 plus 1, right? And how many projects would there be also? All right, so this is the whole concept that we're trying to bring down here. You know, um, so it's already thinking in code. Okay, simple calculator. Okay, whatever. It's writing down these. Okay, so say no meaning in like reality without code. So it's doing a good job with the code. However, say, aha, got it. What are the most basic projects a person can do in real life without code that would make them understand what 1 plus 1 not just meant, but as a concept reality? Okay, take one rock, take another, put a sign. Result, you see one, clap once, clap again, clap once and again. You added two actions. This helps understand one cup, one water. Fill 1 cup of water. Fill another cup of water. Pour to a bowl. Draw a dot. Draw another dot. Da, da, da. So you see, all these projects give you an ability to understand 1 plus 1 without actually trying to understand 1 plus 1. You understand by default of doing all these projects what 1 plus 1 means. So as a matter of doing all these projects, by default you will understand this project. So the same concept applies here. You know, let's try doing for something too. What about for like walking? You know, how do you understand walking as a default of some sequence of projects? All right. So, no, just excuse me. Walking. Like literally. All right. Perfect. You're asking what real world experiences, just like literally walking, make understand. No, like what projects that by doing them you would understand walking as a default. Like literally. All right. So let's see. You're asking about understanding 1 plus 1. You're not asking about 1 plus 1. What about the most basic projects that just by doing them? Walk across a narrow beam. Walking is just more motion. It's about balance. Walk barefoot on the surface. All right. Walk blindfoldly slowly. Um, Not just about Linux, special awareness. That's interesting. Crawl first and stand. Interesting. Very cool. Walk in a circle and try to walk straight. So you see, this whole thing is really cool because in anything we do, obviously, right? There's kind of like some basic preliminary projects that if you do them by default, you will kind of know how to do that thing you're trying to learn. So, excuse me. This is kind of like the idea that this whole thing is based on. So, what we try to do here, we try to give it a name called to reverse prompt the project. If anybody has a better name for this, that would be cool to know what you guys think. All right. Anyway, um, so we're gonna continue. If you guys listen to the other so we have a couple preliminaries. We're trying to understand this big code, right? Which is this project over here, right? Where is it? Excuse me. Um, so we're trying to understand this project, right? Um, and so we did this reverse prompt. We said what projects we would have to do to understand this, which is that piece of code. So it gave us, right? It gave us this sequence. So we did this before, so that's why we could explain it over to you right now. However, um, this is the reverse prompt for that project over there, and then we went a step further. We said, okay, what we did this project in a video that we actually posted, um, and that's called Project One, right? So that's Project One, and we took it a step further because we made this app over here. Excuse me. We made this app. Um, it's called Project One. Wait a minute. No, sorry. It's called Sequence One, Project One. So this is the project we made, right? Adds boxes, and so we made a reverse prompt for this for this project as well. And so what happened was we created these we created the reverse prompt, and that's already the second excuse me, second one that was created. So this says here, hey, so what would be the kind of super basic beginner projects that when you would do them, by automatically you would understand this project code over here? What code? This one, the one with the this one, this code, right? So then it gave us, okay, cool. First, you gotta what's it called beginner projects to learn first. Find the DOM text, and we went even further. We made another reverse prompt. So technically, altogether, we have three reverse prompts, right? For for we have three reverse prompts. Um, yeah, and that would be pretty much three projects. So there's the first project, which is the big one. We brought it down by making the reverse prompt for it, and then we made it. So then we said the second program. Um, uh, so and then we're supposed to have technically four projects. So one project, this project. Then we made the reverse prompt. Okay, let's see where it is. Um, okay, let's get rid of all these. To show you guys. All right. Um, all right. So we did the first project. This is for big. Um, okay, that's this one. So then we did verse sequence said um this is a verse prompt for the first sequence. It says build the box. So we built the box. That's this first project over here. Then we made a sequence. What's it called? Then we made a second reverse prompt for trying to understand that. Right? We're trying to understand how to do this now. Like technically, we're trying to understand how to do this. However, in order to understand how to do this, we gotta understand how this works also. So that's why we made this reverse prompt here, and uh, it gave us um, it gave us this basic text, right? And so then we created the third reverse prompt that said, listen, you know, we want to understand this paragraph button on click demand or whatever. And so that's three reverse prompts, um, and that means um, four projects because now because this is technically a project because we're technically trying to understand this. All right, so sequence, two sequence, folder, two sequence. All right, so this we gotta make two sequence, folder, new file, um, one project, project, HTML. Doesn't matter what you name it, as long as you just put a one, because it's gonna help you later on. All right. So this is the text. So this is part of the second sequence of projects. So this was the first project that would help us understand this project over here. However, just for making things easier, much easier, we decided to go and make um, we decided to make what's it called? Um, we decided to make a um, step further that we will go that will go even down. We'll go even to understand the basics of the basics that will help us understand all these projects. So the whole point is that listen, by doing all these, we'll be able to eventually understand this. Okay. Now this is literally the This is a this is a tutorial for like super basics. This is like the basics of the basics. You know, um, and it's super cool because eventually you'll be able to understand this. You know, with God's help, we'll even we'll get to figuring out how to do what's it called drag, and that's gonna be awesome. Really cool. So with God's help, we'll get to there soon. Okay. However, for now, now that we see the bigger picture, um, you know, um, uh, three sequence. Now that we see the bigger picture, um, we're gonna continue. All right, so we're in the third sequence, third meaning third track that was set for us. Um, so we did this. We did this basic project last um, video, and that is project two. No, no. Project one is what we did last time. So we set a paragraph, right? We put it inside. We put it inside. We put a paragraph. We have a paragraph. We made the paragraph big. We said we were explaining what it means to have an ID, right? And with an ID, you can target it using CSS, right? Um, and because we were tasked with the assignment, right, for the overall, with God's help, that we will kind of understand the whole big project over here, that we have to do this series of small little projects, you know. So we got this little button over here that they said we gotta do, like mini project. Learn what tags like p button and id mean. So we did that. Go what is HTML elements and what the attribute what the ID attribute is. All right, so that's cool. All right, so we got that part. Excuse me. Now our goal is to do the second project, right? Click to alert. So we're gonna continue and we're gonna do button on click alert button click me. All right. So this is a pretty simple project. Um, so we're in the third sequence. All right. Um, we're gonna make a new file. So second project.html. To see why it's cool, you do two and you what's it called? Um, you're able to put it right below. All right, so our goal is to um, doc type, right? Um, HTML, HTML. I think I don't know if it's lowercase or smaller case, but like, I told you guys, if you know, write it down. However, we know the basics, so that's why we're talking over here and explain this stuff. HTML, even though it might sound unprofessional. However, uh, if you know, write it down. Um, because it'll be good. Body. Okay, so body. So it head. Now, save it. This is a super easy text, right? So as you see, when we go over here in the third sequence, we have second project, right? So we have nothing on here yet. Um, However, our goal is to make a button and have this on click JavaScript. I've been, what's it called? Okay. So the button is button on click. Okay, so let's just do the button without the on click method. Um, I just want to tell you guys the right way to say it. Um, so we're just gonna look up the exact definition of it. There's stuff called methods. Here, let's see. Is so this is um, Chat GPT. So there's stuff called methods, the functions. So we're just trying to figure out over here what's it called, the right vocabulary term. Um, so this is a method. No. Yes, you're very close. Okay, so it's not a method. Um, JavaScript code that runs clicked. Yes, alert is a method of a global object. Yeah, it's a method. But since Windows is a global, is an event attribute. Inside the quotes, you're writing JavaScript code. Um, what about inside and HTML element though. All right, just to give you guys the right name, if you're asking whether putting something like onClicked, it's at HTML. OnClick is an HTML attribute that holds JavaScript code. I gotcha. Yeah, okay, fine. Alert. Okay. Is the part inside onClick is JavaScript code that runs on when the button is clicked. Okay, yeah. So we have a method in here that's inside an HTML attribute. Very interesting. All right, so event attribute and the method. All right, so this is easy. We just got to get the name right because this goes and helps a long way. So this is an HTML event attribute, and it holds JavaScript methods inside of it. All right, like this alert. All right, so seemingly. So for example, right now we write I um da 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 da. Uh, second project. Okay. So, so here's our hi button. It's a super simple button. Um, what does it do? Nothing. Um, um, at the moment, and so um, on click. So this is our HTML event attribute. Um, and we're gonna put some. We're gonna put the alert. Um, button clicked. All right. So there you go. All right. Oh, dang, that's interesting. All right, fine. Um, oh, there you go. All right, so I guess you have to put these guys. I think when you use these different ones interchangeably, you have to switch them around. So I think if you were to do this, um, you would have to inside here use this. Um, however, we could be wrong over here. Yeah, I guess that's right. So the so far the hypothesis is, and the presumption that seemingly that when you go and what's it called, have these single quotes, you should use double quotes inside. When you have double quotes, you should use single quotes inside, right? So um, all right, let's do this. Project 2. Hi. Clicking. Ah, let's go. Button clicked. All right, so we got the button clicked. Now, to test our hypothesis, we're gonna switch the order. We're gonna put double quotes on the outside, single quotes on the inside. Hi. See? Hey, let's go. All right, so we got it. Simple project. Uh, project 2 click alert. Um, click alert. Button clicked, got the button, and yeah, pretty simple. All right, so next project we're gonna do um, the continuing step from the reverse prompt that that shows us part of the what's it called, um, part of the text, part of the puzzle that we gotta finish in order to help us get to a higher paradigm. All right. So so when we get to that higher paradigm, we're gonna be able to see the bigger project from a higher lens. It's gonna be able to get us to be able to what's it called, to solve that, to solve it, to do it, to be able to build it just by just from experience, just from the head, from the mind, right? So um you know, like we said, we already made this project, and we already did all the steps from the first reverse shell, from the first reverse shell sequence, and we followed it. We did it. We did all the. It's just not in this. Not in this video. It's not. We just did it before, so that's why we're making this video to show you the power of these reverse shell tracks, reverse prompted tracks, and how to say. It's called reverse prompted tracks, or reverse prompted. What's it called? Um, Paths, and it kind of like an experience, honestly, that will, by doing it, you will be able to understand the bigger picture of the problem you're trying to solve and approach it from a higher paradigm. All right, guys, wish you good, and we'll see you with God's help in the next video. Peace.